All right. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, this is Snapheap 2 we're doing today. And so this plugin just came out this week. Snapheap has been around for a while. It's been a free plugin that allows you to connect various modules in any order, serial, parallel, and then modulate them for really interesting results. And the latest version expands on that idea, gives you a ton more modules. Used to be, I think, 5, and now there's 25 or so. And instead of 4 chains of effects, you can have 7. There's also several new modulators. So my experience with Snapheap goes all the way back to last week, where I first tried out Snapheap 1. And yeah, I liked it. I found it pretty interesting, and I limited myself to just the free plugins in it. I knew that there was an update coming, and so I didn't want to dig in too much, but I've maybe spent 2 hours with it total. And yeah, let me know if I'm coming through clear, not distorted. I'm not 100% sure on my settings because some things had to change around on my system. Sitches Studio, welcome. Welcome, Peter. Set up by Marshall, welcome. Hey, Danny. Hi, Pablo. Hello, Simone. We got Gilberto. We got Bops New York. Awesome. So, what are the chances that we'll get everything working perfectly today? Look, my screen shared on a different computer. It worked this time. Last time, just everything went wrong with the stream. Not really, but, you know, the critical stuff that I needed to work was not working. Let's get some audio in here. So let me just check if this is working. That's connected. If I play this, not that, play this. That doesn't come through, but that's probably because of my routing settings. Okay, you might not be able to hear it until I import it into the session. That's fine. I was going to grab some sort of loop. Okay. So, you let me know if you can hear this. What the hell happened there? Oh, yeah, Snapheap's on. That's not coming through. Is my aggregate device working? Turn that off. Huh. Okay, why is that not working? Properties for Camlink Digital. Okay, so that's coming through. If that's peaking at -3, and I'm turning it down another -3, you should be hearing that at -6. Okay. So, so I got a bass. Let's do, do I have any drum breaks? That's RX. I can't play back RX2 files. Do these work together? Let's make this 4 bars and repeat that. That didn't repeat. I want that. Yeah, this long. And then loop that. That doesn't work together. All right. Bass. No, don't like it. Not off to a great start. That. All right. I should have just stuck with what I was going to do originally. So, all right, let's just talk about the plugin for a minute before we get too in the weeds trying to make a drum beat and everything. So this is fully adjustable size. We've got our 7 effects chains that can be serial or parallel. You can switch between serial and parallel with this button here. And so you might be wondering, as far as routing, how does this work? When it gets to the end of a serial bus, it goes to the next one. So it goes through the first one, then the second one, third one, etc. And if there's a parallel bus, it goes out of this one into both of these at the same time, and then out of this into the next serial bus. Okay, adding modules is as simple as clicking on one of the rectangles at the bottom, or an empty space. That brings up the menu where we've got all of our effects. All of these ones here, the essential effects, are now free. It used to be just, I think it was 5 modules. And yeah, now you get all of these. 3-band EQ, bit crush, chorus, comb filter, compressor, delay, distortion, dynamics, ensemble, filter, flanger, formant filter, frequency shifter, gain, gate, Haas, ladder filter, limiter, nonlinear filter, phase distortion, phaser, pitch shifter, resonator, reverb, reverser, ring mod, stereo, tape stop, transgate, and transient shaper. And then we're going to call this a sponsored stream because Kilohearts sent me all of their plugins for free to check out, do streams, do videos about. But today we're focusing on just what's free. So Snapheap plus the essential effects are all free. Cool. So hey Jason, welcome. Mage Prometheus, hello. I gotta be careful not to touch my keyboard on my PC because the last thing I touched was start streaming. So I better not touch that. I accidentally did that one time. I look and sound great. Thank you. All right. So yeah, Snapheap is a free multi-effects processor, and we've got up at the top our macro controls. So we can have 8 macros plus a mod wheel. These can control any parameter within the plugin, and you can choose how much of each of those affect. So these macro controls for the compress, I actually can't even see what is this connecting. Oh yeah, if you hover over any of the controls that are linked, you'll see the kind of dotted line going towards whatever processor parameter that is. And so for the compress, we've got threshold, ratio, makeup gain, and on the limiter, the input gain, all going at the same time. This is bypassed, so we're not seeing those move. which is really cool. And it's very simple to adjust that or to make a parameter adjustment. So let's say we want this delay time to change with a macro. We just hover over the plus, click that once. It starts flashing orange, and we see all of the possible links we can make. So just click on one of the knobs, and that will link it, and then drag to adjust the amount. And now we're back to controlling that with the macro. And we can drag it clockwise, or I'm dragging up to go in a clockwise direction, or downwards to go counterclockwise. And so as I turn up, the parameter goes down, or vice versa. And then at the bottom section, we've got modulators. So LFO, curve, random, and there's even more up. And just like the effects, we can click on it and bring up any of the modulators: envelope, LFO, LFO table, curve, random, audio follower, pitch tracker, the MIDI note, pressure, velocity, pitch wheel, note gate, MIDI CC, MPE, timbre, and then utilities, remap, up, lower limit, upper limit, scale, sample and hold, and we can also make groups. So as far as the new things, I believe it was LFO table and curve were added, and then MPE and sample and hold. I'm pretty sure that those are what was added in there. The group function is actually just sort of like a folder that you can put effects in. And then you can drag the group to another chain to rearrange things. And if you bypass the group, it bypasses all of them. So pretty simple stuff. Let's spend a couple of minutes. Jason says, another nice thing about the 2.0 update is macros can be bipolar. Yes. I think I figured that out last night. So if you start with this at 50% and you link this to, let's say, in gain, and what was it? Set this to 50%. Is that right? No, maybe it needs to be 100%. I forget. I did manage to figure it out, but I don't remember right now. You could also write. Okay, so deleting a modulator is simple, like double click. And if you want to go to advanced controls for this, we've got a right click bringing that up. And if you want to assign something to an automation, there are 64 slots for automation. This plugin has like infinite parameters because you can have as many of these modules as you want in any order, and they all have different parameters. So we have 64 slots that we can then automate in Reaper. So we can do that with the modulators, the macros, or any effect individually. Right-click on the macro to select polarity. And then is that what it was? This is adjusting the target. I don't remember. Maybe it was this one. And I know it's possible to modulate a modulator as well, but yeah, that's more advanced. I probably won't get into that today. So as far as what I've done with this, I made a basic multiband processor where I've got a 3-band filter sort of setup. These are all parallel, and same frequency cutoff for each of these bands, so that yeah, there's no phase issues and stuff like that. And turning up the macro increases the amount of distortion. It also compensates for the level gain by adjusting the limiter. So when the macro is all the way down, there's no distortion, but the input gain on the limiter is turned up a bit. And if I turn up the macro, the input gain comes down, and the threshold lowers as well. No, raises, actually. So lots of fun stuff there. Okay, so I need some sort of drum loop that's not already processed. That's processed. Come on. My spacebar on my Mac keyboard doesn't always work, so sometimes I have to hit it like 10 times. That'll work. And let's match this to the tempo. And loop it. All right, so this is the module I set up. I guess this is a good size. You can see me, see everything in the plugin. So pretty straightforward as far as how you use this. I think with this preset that I set up, crank up the macro 1, and that's adjusting the distortion amount on these 3 parallel processing distortions, and then it's going through a limiter at the end. There was some questions here. Danny, oh great, you finally got your t-shirt. I got my magnets in the mail. I'm not 100% happy with how those turned out. I'm going to try to change that. I'll probably put a bunch of designs on a single sheet of the magnets or stickers, and then either it's going to automatically cut it out for us, or there'll be enough space that we can easily cut them out ourselves. But I think it's kind of for the one design, it's very skinny, so it's kind of like you're paying for a lot of waste with that. So I think I could do that better. What is 9? Oh, the subscription for Kilohearts is $10 a month, but this stuff is free. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jason. All this stuff, the Snapheap and all the modules, the essential bundle, are free. Let's just go to the website because I haven't done that. The tea printing was sketchy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I thought the shirts were pretty good. They're a pretty reputable company. Yeah, it's the shipping to Canada is really long. I'm expecting it this week, but I ordered about a month ago. Okay, so here's a website. You can get everything for $3.99. You can also get everything for $10 a month. Faceplant 2 is on sale right now for $39. Convolver is $39. Did I say 99, not 39? Convolver is $39. Multipass is similar to Snapheap, but it's multiband from the start. That's $99. The Essentials is free. And you get all these effects. It used to be just these 6 effects, I think, that work within as standalone plugins or within Snapheap. And now there's all of these for free, which is awesome. And it actually didn't come up yet, but these are all separate plugins as well. So if I go to my Kilohearts folder, every one of those those essential bundle plugins are here. So I can take the chorus, I can take the comb filter, I can take the delay. They're all just little effects. What you don't get is the modulation, but of course we've got modulation per plugin with Reaper's built-in stuff. So yeah, if you want modulation, if you want like really intuitive macro and MIDI control, do it within Snapheap. Wrong damn keyboard. Someday I got to get rid of this second computer and do everything on the Mac, because it's just driving me nuts on a daily basis to not know which computer I'm controlling with the keyboard in front of me. All right, back to the website. So there's all these individual effects, separate plugins. They each do one job, or they can be combined within Snapheap. Then there's also content banks that you get with the subscription, which is a lot of presets. So these content banks are extras. They cost extra. They're $29 a piece normally. They get you 20 to 50 presets, mostly for Phaseplant, which is their synth. But Snapheap is free. Oh, maybe it's free for a limited time. I don't know. Right now it's free. Okay, Rob is saying after June 2nd, Snapheap will no longer be free. So grab it now if you're interested. Yeah. It's a really cool system. And I found it intimidating when I saw it, like, I don't know, a year ago. And I was like, I don't really know if I want to get into that. But I saw Jason in the chat always using this stuff, and Phaseplant and everything. And he's a big fan of it, so I got to trust him because he supports what I do. He's always in the chat. He's always on Patreon, on the Discord, helping us out. Yeah. They seem like a really cool company as well. I think my goal for Snapheap is to replace the Air Music bundle, to get rid of my dependency on that, because I don't know if they're ever going to get M1 native support for that. I know they released some plugins recently, but I don't know if they're ever going to update their older ones. All right, let's start a new one. And all right, let's listen to this and see what we can do. Okay, so I've never used the gate in here. So I'm interested to see what this gate is like. So, Jason, I've got a question for you. I know that there's external and main sidechain inputs. Can you do any processing of the sidechain signal? So I know that I can choose, I can process the thing a bunch of different ways, and then have some compressor or gate using the main input. But I don't think you can process the main input, like filter it or anything like that. I think they're the only company that I've seen allow you to control delay in this way, where we've got numerator and denominator. So we can have it as 1/4, or we could have it as 4/16. And both of these numbers can be modulated. Okay, no way to process the actual sidechain that you know of. You can pre-process it elsewhere. That's what I thought. I wonder if that is something that they'll add. That's kind of an advanced feature, but yeah, just if you wanted to filter out the lows and like send that signal through the delay or reverb and then duck it based on just the lows, I'm not sure how you would do that. Yeah, that's kind of the only limitation I ran into. And the other day I was asking you about bipolar modulators, and yeah, they fixed that, or they added that in version 2. Okay, so let's just take this delay. And let's add in something like LFO. We've got frequency. We can snap it to patterns. Shapes here. It's a big library of different shapes. I'll just keep it simple. Do a triangle wave here. There's little buttons here, maybe a little hard to see. A plus and minus, and a minus. And that's for unipolar or bipolar modulation. There's also this triggering, infinite, sustain, ping pong, and reverse function. So sustain, I don't remember how this one works. I haven't explored that one yet. But the typical LFO works with the infinite mode. If we have this on off, no. If we have this on, yeah, there's a trigger button here. We can modulate that. Or I don't remember. I don't think that's an input volume. Am I wrong about that? I know you can use other modulators to trigger it. So I could take a random and then send that to here. Yeah. Okay, and then this will trigger this. No, I did that wrong. I want this one to trigger this. And let's go 50%. So, yeah, we've got every quarter note, there's going to be a random trigger, which might trigger this. And then send a different value to the delay. Yeah, it's gross. It's a bit gross sounding. It just needs reverb. It's actually worse. Yeah. Okay, so, well, there's the random function. That's the random function. But that's one way we can trigger an LFO in sustain mode. Let's take something like, I don't know, the nonlinear filter. Get rid of the delay for now. All right. Now we'll take the new LFO table function, which is basically a wave table. And you can load any wave table in here. There's a ton that it comes with. And then this shape can be, I don't know what you call that, morphed through. Now we'll take the output of this and the cutoff frequency, and let's do, I don't know, 70%. And we'll do this on a bipolar, so it's going up and down. And we'll just set this so that there we go. And we'll play that. All right, so instead of moving this by hand, what I can do is add in a regular LFO and apply this output to, where was it? I'm pretty sure you can, am I wrong? I was sure you could go through here. Is it the phase control? The frame. That's what it was. Okay, so it can go through the frames. And now that's automatically going through there. And we can set this really slow. It stopped working. Why did it stop working? I can see it moving, but the filter seemed to stop moving. Oh, I had it on off. So yeah, an LFO controlling an LFO. Pretty cool. All right. Now let's try out the audio follower. Same thing. We're just going to connect this to the cutoff and then turn that up. And let's do negative only. And, oh, gotta change the direction. So we have a few options here: gain, attack, release, peak, RMS, and main or external input. External input comes in on input 3 and 4. So I just made this a parallel bus. The input is coming into both of these simultaneously and then merging. At the end, we've got gain for this bus, panning, and mix. We can put something before it. So this dynamics plugin, I guess, can be like a compressor or limiter. Oh, or an expander. Interesting. Thanks for coming through here, Cedric. Right, so we can process before it by just having something on serial bus 1, and we can also process after by going to serial bus 3. Just a bit of limiting. Let's take the... That's a bit better, yeah. Okay, what do you guys suggest for next for processing? CPU consumption on Snapheap. Let's check. So this is 0.1. There's a bit of delay on this. 234 samples. This isn't doing much in this preset anyways. Let's take something that's a little more intense. Yeah, 0.1. I don't know. It's it seems to be pretty efficient. All right, and then let's get a... Let's put that in there. And put that on quarter notes. And let's just grab a random. That's a gross snare. That's out of time. All right, without the plugin, it sounds like this. Actually not going to do multipass today because I want to just showcase what you can do for free. Actually, this is pretty cool. So this is the Transgate plugin, followed by delay, several delays, and filters. This is 2 parallel buses. All right, and then Resonators. Yeah, I haven't used those very much. That's a pretty big difference. That's the original. Try throwing MIDI note modulator and playing them with your controller. I haven't done that yet. Playing what? The resonator? All right, I think I understand what you're saying. I got to turn on my controller still. All right, so we'll do a resonator. No, misclicked. Resonator and a MIDI note. And then got this issue where I cannot get my controllers working. Come on. It just doesn't get any MIDI input. Until I quit Reaper. like, it sees it. It's enabled. It's controlling. I reset it. All right, well, let's just check this. No, it just doesn't work sometimes. All right, so what am I going to do? I'm going to save the project. Wish it supported VSTs inside. It's fine, Jason. It's a good idea. It's worth exploring as just my Korg. It's still not sending. Yeah, I'll probably just trigger from a MIDI item, but. So I'll need to do reload this, and then probably can't do it as a MIDI input anyways. Probably need a track for MIDI. And yep, once again, reset. Okay, now there's some MIDI, but I want this to be outside of that group, and then I'll send to this plugin with no audio with all MIDI. Okay. So Snapheap with a resonator, and I'm sending from the output of the MIDI note to the, to the notes here. And I guess I'll go negative. No, I guess I want to do positive, but maybe I'll start this positive direction and I'll just start this like really low. Okay. You guys probably can't see that. Is that what you wanted? Sounds terrible. All right. So resetting this to A4. Maybe it was too low before. Oh, wrong button. Do 100% modulation. Ice picks. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this like I don't know, A2? Make the modulation bipolar. Interesting. Yeah, that totally changed the sound. That's some gross crackles from somewhere. And I want to check, someone was asking about CPU. It's basically nothing. All right. So let's do another resonator. In parallel. I haven't tried FacePlant yet. Ever. For the longest time, I thought it was the same as Synplant or Synthplant, something like that, from a different company. All right. I don't want to hear the resonators anymore. I want to see what the MIDI note function does with a filter cutoff. Is that cool? I don't know. Kind of useful. Oh, we'd also change the note range, so maybe change this to oh, you guys can't see that. Why can't you see that? Oh, it's the top right, top left. I can change this to 36 notes. So just have a couple octaves to change cutoff frequency. Lower the range. I think I want the full range, but I want the full range, but I want the modulation to affect the entire frequency range, but I want only a small range of the notes to affect it. I don't know. There isn't an arpeggiator, but we can put on an arpeggiator on the MIDI effects. Let's do where the hell is it? MIDI arpeggiator. Okay, and then we'll set this to 4. Would that work? Yeah, so that's working. So I'll take this. Uh-oh. I can't make it glitch like that when I want it to, but... Oh, it's muted. Muted that one. Yeah, so that's kind of fun, taking a resonator, controlling it with a MIDI input. What else can we do with that? Maybe delay time would be cool. Yeah, maybe delay time linked to MIDI input. I don't know how many notes that's gonna work out to. I won't see the actual number listed here. It just says 200 milliseconds, but the orange line above it shows the actual delay time. So I send it a lower note, and it makes the delay time shorter. That kind of brings us into this lower and upper limit function. So we could take the upper limit and disconnect this, send the upper limit into here, and then we can scale this before sending it out to here. And now can't go above that. You can go below that level. But we can set a high ceiling for any sort of modulation. In this case, it's the MIDI note, but it could be an LFO or something like that. We kind of compress the upper limit of a LFO. There's also a lower limit, works the same way. Send a modulation into it, and then you've got a lower limit that you can pass through to some other device. So that's kind of similar to modular synths. Sample and hold will take a particular value that you send in, and then especially for a continuous thing. So let's set this up to work with sample and hold. So I'll take an LFO, which has a continuous movement, and I'll take a sample and hold, and so I'll send this into the sample and hold function. So whatever the output is, it's seeing that there. And then using the trigger, which will be, let's say, an audio follower, make that the trigger. So when audio comes in, it's grabbing a random value in the LFO that we can just send to somewhere. So let's do, I don't know, distortion. I'll just apply the distortion bias. So it's sort of random. It's being triggered by the pattern that's coming in, that's activating the sample and hold. Sample and hold is reading the value from the LFO, where whatever position it is, as it gets a trigger input. And then it's taking that value and sending that out to the parameter you want to modulate. Pretty interesting. There's a lot of cool stuff in this update. We just need to find some practical uses of this, because there's a lot of this stuff is just really weird and we wouldn't actually use it. But yeah, it's cool that this is kind of like a toy box of multiple effects, lots of weird things. Yeah, let's take the tape stop and apply this. They should have some practical presets. They do. Under mastering tools, there was something that was kind of interesting. I think it was mastering loop. I don't remember. This one. Yeah. You can use this to create your own mastering chain or whatever. I said mastering chain. I don't see myself using it for mastering, but if you are building out a set of samples, like a sample library, and you want to process things through an interesting effects chain with lots of modulation, things like that, this is a good use for sample library mastering, not like music mastering, maybe. All right, so let's change up this loop. Let's see what it can do to like just basic samples. Let's take a kick and kick and a snare. And may as well put in a hi-hat. All right, so we've got this. We've got this preset loaded here, which is meant to really degrade the sound of it. And using the mod wheel, we can increase all of those at the same time. So a modulator for a modulator, or a MIDI control over multiple macros. It's very flexible in terms of modulation, automation, things like that. Okay, let's go through some of these other effects. So this is a fast drum gate. I think that's pretty effective as well. If you took something like this and you wanted it to be useful in a mix without having to bring up the whole plugin every single time, you can take these what am I saying? Take this, and I'm right-clicking and I'm not seeing the function. Are those automatically there? Yes, okay. I was going to say you can MIDI link them or assign them to the automation, but the macros are already doing that. So right-click, parameter, show and track controls, and then we'll take the range, show and track controls. And then if I go to my track 1, I've got the threshold and the range control right there on the track. I'm going to make this parallel, I guess. And I'll put on a filter before it. And then I'm going to modulate the filter a little bit using a sine wave shape. And oh, you can't see that. There's a little handle that you can limit the range with. And that's in addition to controlling the amount of these orange knobs. Of course, that range handle can be modified, can it? I don't know about that. I haven't noticed anything like with alt drag or shift drag or anything like that in here. Yeah, cool stuff. How long have we been going for? 10 to 11. All right. Oh, right. Yeah, there. I think I accidentally did that and I didn't understand what it was doing. There's also the yellow modulation things. Can you explain that? Like these ones here. These ones here. You can copy by control drag. Copy effects. Probably command drag on Mac. No. Oh, holding down control gives you a slot above. That's cool. But, okay, it's alt drag on Mac. The star modulation affects the effectiveness of it. Yeah, I thought it was some sort of like additional scaling. Yeah. Definitely more advanced. Super useful though. All right, let's check out the reverbs. I was curious if Reaper automatically gets the parameter names if you change the preset, and it does, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted. All right, so looking at this, I'm like, why does it sound washed out? It's because it's 100% wet. But where of these do we change? In this case, it's the last of the serial bus ones where we set that. That should be the overall. And we can also adjust the mix here. That's probably the best one for this. Oh yeah, the Convolver one is actually not a freer one, right? I don't think it is. But it comes with a lot of impulse responses. All right, so this is a chorused reverb. Okay, so Jason's saying Convolver's not free. If you don't have it, you can still load patches that have it, but you can't modify it. I don't know. They unlocked everything for my account, so I wasn't able to fully get the free experience. But as mentioned earlier, Snapheap right now is free. So just get it. Just so you have it. Price is going to go up in a while. Very cool stuff. I'm getting pretty hungry, so I'm probably going to go now. Hope you found this interesting. I learned a couple things. Hopefully you did too. Snapheap is free right now. The Essentials bundle is free, and there's a lot of things you can do with it, whether you're using it in Snapheap or not. Reaper has great modulation effects or parameter modulation things built in, so you can kind of modulate and do a lot of these things on your own outside of Snapheap. But I think it's a great kind of sandbox to explore these effects in, change them up in different orders and serial parallel, and have fun. All right, so yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Support the channel by becoming a member on YouTube or a patron on Patreon. Links to everything will be in the description of the video. We've got shirts. There's a blog, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. You know what to do. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.